Hi there, this is David, and it's come to my attention that many of you don't know how to patch a ROM. Today I'm going to walk you through romhacking.net and show you exactly how, step by step, to patch a ROM into English. It's a very easy thing to do, and everybody should be able to do it because there's so many games that are stuck in Japan that we haven't gotten a chance to play, and now they're patched, so we can play it. So just open up your browser, and what you want to do is go to romhacking.net. I have it on my favorites, I go there all the time. It's just type it in, romhacking.net. I'm just going to click on it, there we go. So this is the home page, and it gives you the newest hacks are over here. There's some featured hacks images. We're not really going to talk about hacks today. Hacking a game is just taking a game that's already in English and changing up the gameplay, maybe making it harder, maybe making it easier or more balanced. Maybe doing a parody or something like that. But we're not really going to focus on the hacks. We're going to focus on translations. They have the same thing over here, the newest translations, featured translations, images. So you can just kind of browse around through there if you want to, or you can go over here to where it says translations. Let's just click on that. So here we can choose the genre, and I pretty much stick to RPGs, so I'm going to click on role-playing as my genre. And then you can click on what platform you want as well. They have all sorts of different platforms. You can look into PlayStation games, Game Boy games, Nintendo games, or Super Nintendo games. And I'm going to focus on Super Nintendo right now, because I've gotten a lot of questions on how to play in particular God. So we're going to look at that. Here we have 116 results of various translations for the Super Nintendo. So these are listed in alphabetical order, and you can see, like if you go down here, we'll look at the first one, Ancient Magic. It gives you the title, it gives you the group that it was released by, the genre role-playing, it's on the SNES. The status is fully playable. You always want to click on something that's fully playable. There's also addendums. That means that it's like in addition to a different patch or an add-on from a patch. There's unfinished, which means that it was started, but it was never actually finished. You never want to play those. Yeah, just stick to things that are fully playable. It gives you the version number. One pretty much says, hey, we're completely done, the date that it was released, and the language. EN stands for English. So let's just look down, see what the various things that we have. There's translations of Chrono Trigger. Even though that was already translated, they've kind of like done retranslations to make it more accurate to the Japanese. Dragon Quest 1 and 2, which I've already played. Dragon Quest 3, which I will be playing. Some other famous ones, such as Dragon Quest 5 and 6. Final Fantasy 5 is in here. That's another famous translation as well. But I want to focus on this game right here, God, because we've had lots of questions about that. So just click on that. It gives you the game description and a translation description, just to let you know what the game is about. It gives you some other ROM information that I don't care about, and it gives you a Readme file. Let's just look at that real fast. Basically, a Readme file is just something that the translators want you to read. It gives you background information upon the game or about the translation or what happened. Sometimes it talks about some various known issues with the translation, so some things that you can avoid. And sometimes they'll even give you like a little strategy guide in the Readmes, so it's a very good idea to look at these. And it also gives you a little walkthrough on how to patch the ROM. Most SNES games use Lunar IPS to patch the ROM, and we'll get into that in just a minute. But anyway, I'm liking what I'm seeing here. It gives us some screenshots and stuff. So yeah, I want to go ahead and download that. Just click on download, it's going to download right over here. Now this is an IPS file, and in order to open up an IPS file, you need something called Lunar IPS. So just go on over here to the search bar, type in Lunar IPS. It's going to be the very first one that pops up. Just click on it, and then we're going to click download the file now. So now we have our IPS file, we have our Lunar IPS file, and then what we need is our ROM as well. I like downloading ROMs from muparadise.me. I have found that that particular website does not give me any kind of bugs or viruses or anything else that I don't have to worry about. So I like using muparadise.me. And from here, we're going to type in the name of our ROM, which is God. So just slowly type it in, and you're going to see it's already popped up right down here. So just click on that. And then we have to do a little bit of kind of navigating on this website. Click on Download Links, number 5, and then click Download the game. Now this other screen is going to pop up. Like I said, it's kind of, you have to kind of navigate through here. But what you want now is the direct download. So go ahead and click on that. So now we have 3 things downloaded. We have the IPS patch downloaded, Lunar IPS, and downloading right now is the actual ROM itself. So we can just go ahead and get out of our browser, and now we can go ahead and extract these files. These are called zipped files because they have the little zipper on it. It makes it so that the file is kind of, I don't know, smaller or something. So just go over here, we're right-clicking on the file, click Extract All, and extract it. There we go. That's fine, I'm good. Do the same thing here. For a Lunar IPS, extract it to whatever folder you want to. It doesn't matter because we're going to be taking all these things out of the folders anyway. And then here we're going to be extracting it as well. Okay, perfect. So now what I want to do is go ahead and put all 3 of those things into its own folder. And you can just rename this whatever you want. I'm going to name it Sample. There we go. So we are going to go ahead and put the God patch into Sample. Just highlight it all, drag it on in. There we are. We're going to put the Lunar IPS files into our sample folder as well. And we're going to put our ROM into our sample folder as well. Come on. There we go. Okay. So now that we've gotten everything that we want inside of our sample folder, we can go ahead and get rid of these other folders. We don't need to clog up our desktop any more than they already are. So here we have everything. We have our SFC file, which stands for Super Famicom. We have our Readme file. We have our Lunar IPS file, which is the actual patch. And then this little moon thing right here, this is the application that we actually apply the patch with. So what I want to do is open up my Lunar IPS file, so just double click on it, and we're going to apply an IPS patch. So over here it says select IPS file to use. Go ahead and select your file. And then it says select the file to patch. So I want to patch God. It's so much easier if you just keep everything in one folder. That's why I do it. So now it says the file was successfully patched. Well, perfect. And I imagine most of you would probably have an emulator downloaded anyway, so let's just go ahead and open up our emulator just to test it. Well, there we are, we have our emulator open, and then the easiest way to open up the game is you just take your translated file, drag it into your emulator, boom, done, the end. Yeah, so now we are playing God, and we know that it's translated because the dynamic design screen showed up. That was the name of the group of the translators, and as you can see, it's in English. It's really just that easy. I hope that this video helped you, and let me know if you have any other questions, and have a good day.